survive. What a way to make a living.
I lost the sound. I think you muted yourself. Huh. Okay. All right, ladies and gents. Well, little technical difficulties on the opener there, but I don't think it really matters because the CPI data just came out. You guys know we talk ad nauseum about the Fed, and of course we do because that's what dictates the direction of the markets to a large degree. And the CPI data just came out, and all the tariff fears, all the tariffs are going to cause all this recession, it's going to cause all this inflation. Turns out that the categories that tariffs would normally impact weren't even up. So what a nothing burger on these tariffs. Great news, though, across the board. CPI data came in a little bit below expectations, so you're seeing markets respond accordingly. A rate cut is coming. This is now a foregone conclusion in my mind. We had the terrible jobs report, and now this CPI data coming in a little bit below expectations. 2.7% here. I'll pull up the article real quick so you guys can see what we're talking about. But overall, very positive, and everyone should be quite pleased with the state of affairs here vis-a-vis tariffs and inflation. Here's the headline: tariffs rise 2.7% annually, less than expected amid tariff worries. The part of inflation that matters to everyday people. See, this is funny. The food and the energy, right? Gas and groceries. For whatever reason, the Fed doesn't look at that. Well, they don't look at it because those things are highly volatile. But the Fed looks at what's called core inflation, which did actually go up a little bit greater than forecast, but it went up because shelter costs went higher. So mortgage rates, which are still very high, rents are going up. But these are things that are high because the rates are high. So the Fed's got to cut rates. Everyone should breathe a tremendous sigh of relief here. There was a world in which the reading came out and really threw a monkey wrench into everything, and the Fed, may have had to not decrease the rates. But we're not living in that world. We're living in a world where the rate cut is coming on September 17th, and everyone should be rejoicing, and let's let the markets run. You're muted.
Yeah, another day of setting up the charts, but starting with Ethereum and not Bitcoin. Let's see here. There you go. If you watched the TA video that was posted yesterday about the Ethereum chart, we said we got rejected at this overhead level not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times, and we were talking on this green candle. Can it break above that 43.35 level? We saw it again this morning, wick above that level on the news of the CPI beat, and it is giving up some of the green candle. But this is a very bullish formation for Ethereum. I think with this much bullish action, with the institutions buying, with these companies buying, the downside risk remains super bullish. Downside risk of only like 3,900 ETH, and that'd be a retest of this ascending triangle breakout, which would be a great buying opportunity. And I just don't know if we're going to get it because the potential rate cut happening next month, because these companies continue to buy more Ethereum. BlackRock is still pushing for the dividend yield for Ethereum spot ETFs. I mean, this is the chart structure you want to see. Now, the stocks keep going to new all-time highs. Is there going to be a correction on them at some point that slows down Bitcoin and Ethereum? That, I guess, is potential. Could there be a black swan? I guess, but what black swans hasn't the market seen? We've seen wars start. We've seen wars end. We've seen bombings. We've seen ceasefires. Is there going to be another COVID variant? Nobody's going to give a shit because we dealt with that for 2 years already. So I don't know what the next black swan can be, knock on wood. I mean, things look good. If you are in a 100% cash, I think you need to buy something. If you are very invested in the market, maybe you can try to have some patience, look to dollar cost average on some kind of a dip. But other than that, not much to add here. The volume is coming in a little bit. You see we're slightly higher volume here than we were at the previous highs up here. That failed. Low volume up here, we failed because no volume really came in and we had a sell-off. We are seeing some volume come in on this breakout with the target of 4,800 that we've been talking about, which is darn near the all-time highs for Ethereum. Of course, how is this impacting the Bitcoin dominance chart? Well, there you go. Continues to trend lower. A down, B up. You would love to see a C wave, a corrective wave down here towards 59%, which probably will lead you to believe that Ethereum is near all-time highs or at all-time highs. Maybe Solana is catching a bid. Maybe BNB is catching a bid. Maybe Pulse Chain's catching a bid. And we are liking what we are seeing with the green in the altcoins. Obviously, this 1%, 2% isn't changing your life, but it's a trend in the right direction, and the Bitcoin dominance is reflecting that. And then lastly, Bitcoin itself got as low as 118,000. It did bounce to 120,000 this morning, back to 119. A little bit of a euphoria candle with the CPI data that came out. We'll see how the markets settle in today and what Bitcoin and Ethereum want to do for us. The Nasdaq slightly green, up 0.33%. Darn near the all-time highs. I mean, this is absolutely wild. We told you guys to be buying this for a V-shaped recovery. All-time high after all-time high, just grinding higher up and to the right.
Markets are looking green. Everyone's feeling great. I will say a couple things, though. Black swans, by definition, are unforeseeable. And so there will be a black swan. When it happens, what is the sum and substance of that black swan? Whether it's a war, whether it's something Trump does, whether it's, who knows, virus. Nobody knows. That's the definition of black swan. Now, will that black swan then cause a multi-year bear market? Right while the Fed is cutting rates to save this economy from the high rate regime that they've put in place? No, it will not cause a multi-year bear market in all likelihood. It may just cause what we saw with the crash here during the tariff flood. And so if you're a trader, if you're an investor and you're thinking, all right, man, I'm going to time this market, I'm going to wait until the crash, and then I'm going to deploy a bunch of capital, the market's going to leave you behind, bro. I promise you that. Greed works two ways. Greed works two ways. There's the greed everybody knows, which is, you keep holding on because the asset's going higher and higher, and you think you're going to be rich forever, and so you never sell, and then crashes and you've round-tripped your bag. That's greed version number one. Greed version number two, you feel you can get a better entry. Asset prices are too high, and they're definitely going to go lower, right? They got to go lower so I can get a big bag. Bro, if you're not in the markets now, what are you waiting for? You're waiting for a black swan? Get your head out of your ass. Get invested into these markets. Dollar cost average. If it's so hard for you to pull the trigger and say, all right, I'm going to deploy all my capital now, I do think there's going to be a black swan. I do think there's going to be a correction. And you may be right. Dollar cost average. That's your friend. Buy every week. Buy every month. But I'm telling you, these markets will leave you behind if you start getting greedy and think you're going to get an amazing entry on some incredible dip that is not going to materialize.
Yep. So we shall see. We shall see. We'll take a look at Pulse Chain here quickly. Green on Pulse Chain as well. And we look at the PLS chart. We've been talking about a consolidation to break out higher. We saw this consolidation breaking out higher, and it looks now like maybe this is creating a bull flag. So you take this bull flag out here, and then that pull would lead you probably somewhere up here to 6,200, which would be a nice little gainer for you guys for the gas token of the network. Be something like 20%. So, if Ethereum goes up 10%, that puts it at the 4,800 target. That means Pulse Chain probably goes up 20%. It's been going up multiples versus Ethereum as of late, and they are up about the same percentage off the low as each other. So that's really good to see, and will benefit our bags, such as the Surf token of Crypto Paradise. So, of course, this is the time to tell you to go buy the Surf token, get in the DAO, 200,000 Surf or more to get in the DAO, 400,000 to get in the next round of Frontier funds. I think the allocation into this Frontier funds is like today or tomorrow. So if you want to get in that, you need 400,000 Surf today or tomorrow to get involved.
Shout out to everyone who accumulated 400,000 Surf. Shout out to everyone who's going to get involved in Frontier Fund Round 2. I do believe those forms are going out today because, it's time. So let's make that happen. But, yeah, Pulse Chain is going higher. Pulse chain's going higher. Everything's going higher. Don't sell now. I have a big bag of Pulse chain. Do you think I'm selling it now? No. Why am I not selling it now? Well, A, I don't need the money now. B, everything's going higher. C, I always had a plan to sell at the end of the year. Sticking to my plan, don't need the money, everything's going higher. This is how you have to think. Don't be emotional. Don't be, it's up 5%. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm scared. I'm selling. A little profit. Guys, everything's going higher. The Fed is going to cut rates on the 17th of September. And Powell's going to have to eat a whole lot of crow during the press conference. And he's going to have to say something to the effect of, we got it wrong. It was actually the labor market that we had to be keeping an eye out on. We kept rates too. He won't actually say these things because he'll never admit that he was wrong. So, we looked at the data, did the best we could. But bottom line is he's going to have to eat crow. He's going to have to say a lot of dovish things. And they are going to cut rates, whether it's now a 25 basis point cut or a 50 basis point cut. That is the only question. That is the only question. And so if you're in risk assets, you should be rejoicing, you should be cheering, you should be deploying capital, you should be getting a risk on. And I'm not saying, look, never sell, never take profits. That's not what we're saying. We're saying get positioned now. The best part of the bull run is yet to come. Look to take profits probably towards the end of this year because that's historically when the blow off top would be. If you want to be a little bit of a risk taker like we are, maybe you keep some of your bag into 2026 on the assumption that, hey, these rate cuts are going to continue. Bull market's going to continue. Powell's out in May of 2026. Trump's going to continue to push the asset class of cryptocurrencies forward. You can keep some money in the market 2026. I won't hate it. So we're not saying never sell, but man, if you're on the fence right now or you're thinking about selling, I don't know, get your head checked. Get your head checked. This market's going higher, folks.
We've been talking about whether it's going to be meme coins or utility projects or what is going on. We've been talking about how DeFi is kind of flourishing on Pulse Chain and some other networks starting to bring it back. Just in, CoinGecko said that DeFi has flipped exchange-based tokens by market cap for the first time since 2024. Are you Team DEX or SEX? And that is talking about the crypto sectors by market capitalization. That is good to see. That I guess the decentralized exchange tokens would be like PancakeSwap, Uniswap, PLSX. The list goes on. And the centralized exchange tokens would be like KCS for KuCoin, BNB for Binance, and the list goes on. So, that just shows that the OGs are starting to heat up. They're trying to participate in DeFi and decentralized exchanges. And hopefully they can help onboard the next wave of retail users to utilize decentralized exchanges as well. The reason I say that is, yes, everybody gets onboarded through sexes. That's how you learn. But sexes charge a lot of fees. Sexes gatekeep what tokens they want to list so they can make money on it. First, decentralized exchanges are more the fair and open market, where the market decides, the community decides on where value is going to flow, and you can trade for lower fees. Not to mention, most of the altcoin gems can be found on decentralized exchanges, not quite listed on centralized exchanges just yet, where manipulation comes into play. Are the teams giving them tokens that the SEX dumps after the first pump? The list goes on and on.
This is an interesting discussion, actually, because I think there's a question in everybody's mind whether memes are going to lead this next phase of the run in terms of altcoins, as they did in kind of like phase one of the alt season. Whatever we want to call it.
You're breaking up a little
last
bit.
year. Once you see this chart here, that's an excellent data point. I also read a news report, I'm trying to pull it up now, that a company tried to do or they did in fact do a quote strategic reserve with the meme coin bonk, and their company shares tanked 50%. And so I don't know. You look at Solana struggling a bit. I don't know the volumes right now in terms of memes overall. I believe that they're down. You look at Pump Fund. I know Pump Fund's struggling tremendously. They're losing money or not making nearly as much as they did back in the heady heights of meme season. So I don't know if I'm ready to say, memes are done or whatever. There's still money to be made, and I'm sure during the frothy moments of alt season, you're going to have incredible returns on certain memes. But I do think there's a pretty damn good chance that the next kind of hype category is not going to be memes. It may be DeFi, which would make sense. If Ethereum's running, where is all the DeFi plays? Where's all the DeFi money? It's really concentrated on Ethereum. And so it probably takes just a couple of really smart dev teams build the next innovative, cool product. That thing gets a lot of attention. It does 100 or 1,000 times on the token. And all of a sudden, DeFi season's back. That's how this game works. It's a copycat league. It's a copycat industry. You get one hot protocol, one hot token, does 100 times, gets attention, and all of a sudden, that's the new season. So, maybe you heard it here first. DeFi Summer 2.0. Anyone remembers DeFi Summer from like 4 or 5 years ago? We could be at the start of maybe a DeFi Summer and fall here in 2025. So let's see what happens. Monitor things. I'm not saying
DeFi Summer,
but here we are.
DeFi Summer is always good because that led to massive opportunities, daily yield, and alt season. Because if the protocols are figuring out good ways to produce yield via DeFi, it helps onboard retail users to those chains, gets people active, but also puts fresh capital in their pocket each and every day, in which they can use for new altcoin opportunities, chasing meme coins, investing in pre-sales, which is kind of a flywheel effect of upside and opportunities. So we shall see if that comes back. That was a good time for pre-sales, for ICOs, for daily yield, for altcoin holders who were making gains each and every day.
Look at this. Cointelegraph magazine preempted our discussion here. This just popped up. I was looking through how Ethereum treasury companies can start DeFi Summer 2.0. I mean, it makes perfect sense. If money and capital is flowing into Ethereum price is pumping. These treasury companies also looking to deploy their, fresh Ethereum in a DeFi sort of protocol to generate more yield for themselves. This could certainly spark a DeFi Summer 2.0. So let's monitor this story. We're Pulse Chain guys. Surf is deployed on Pulse Chain. One of the strengths of Pulse Chain, I think, is DeFi. So let's see how this story continues to evolve. I think it'd be great for Surf, it'd be great for Pulse Chain, it'd be great for ETH, it'd be great for the industry. Because let's just be honest, the attention is just on memes, which are scams. That doesn't really shine a positive light on crypto as a whole, and doesn't really incentivize Tom, Dick, and Jane, your neighbors down the street to want to invest.
Yep. I don't know if it's just on my end or if it's on your end, but you are lagging just a little bit here and there. So I don't know if you have extra tabs open. Maybe you want to try to close those. I had this up here. We just dropped the interview with BitShammy, an OG in the crypto space. He has something like 25,000 followers here on Twitter. He has much more than that over on TikTok. And we talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, where the market is going. And then, of course, at the end, he gives a little shill for Dubcat, which is a cat meme coin on Solana that he is leading, as well as the Surf token, which is our token over on Pulse Chain, and how we're going to try to get him to onboard in Pulse Chain. He has no investments on Pulse Chain yet, but he's an ETH OG. He was there for BNB. He was there for Base, and now he's heavy in Solana. Trying to get him over to Pulse Chain, and if he gets over there, we're going to do some content on that, and you can be sure that he will buy some Surf tokens. So I'd watch this. It's 47 minutes, but it's to see a different perspective from his eyes on where the market is going, and not just Pulse Chain, talking about Bitcoin, talking about ETH, talking about memes, talking about utilities, talking about will history repeat itself. So I'd make sure to go watch this over on the Crypto Paradise newsfeed once this live show is over. And if you're a Pulse Chain guy, get on there because he will see that, and maybe that'll get him to dip his toes, bridge over there, and bring his community with him. This is how it works, guys. Each and every one of these KOL, influencers, OGs in crypto that you can get to bridge to your desired network, whether it's Pulse Chain, BNB, Solana, whatever it is, they bring their community with them. They find opportunities, and that's how everybody wins together. So keep that in mind. Get in the comment section of that video as well.
Yeah, glad you mentioned that. I love that interview we did with BitShammy. He's a good friend of mine going back to the early days of my tenure in crypto. I think I met him in 2018, but he's a seasoned veteran, knows a lot, has learned a lot, been burnt, scammed, lost a bunch of money, but also made a bunch of money. And so I think those are the kind of voices you want to follow and pay attention to. He's also a good guy. He's not out there trying to, rug you, exit scam you. I mean, he's been running Dubcat for over a year. It's been through its ups and downs, trials and tribulations, whatever, but he's still pushing that forward. So I think that tells you everything you need to know if you're still manning the helm of a meme a year and a half after it's launched. That to me shows your character. So check out BitShammy. We're absolutely going to onboard him into Pulse Chain, by the way. We're having DMs about this as we speak. So we're going to get him over into Pulse Chain. And by the way, if you are a DAO member of the Crypto Paradise, right now here today, you can also make money by onboarding your friends into Pulse Chain, because all you need to do is say, "Hey, bud, check out Crypto Paradise. Load up on 200,000 or more Surf. Join their DAO." By the way, there's amazing benefits for being in the DAO. Here they are. Boom, boom, boom. Show them the website. Do a little pitch, and then you get sent 10%, bonus in Surf tokens. We just had a community member, Martin, do this for one of his friends who loaded up 400,000 Surf. Martin got a 40,000 Surf bonus sent to him. So, little ways we like to give back to the DAO, ways that you guys as community members can help yourself, help the rest of the Surf community, grow this channel. Well, win across the board. So shout out to Martin, and let's get BitShaman on board in the Pulse Chain.
That would be ideal. Just getting him to sit still. I know he moved out to a farm, so he's got to be active and doing the homestead stuff rather than sitting in front of the computers. But shouldn't be long from now. Hopefully get him on board. And plus, it'd be a good face to be in the DAO because he does have alpha. He does have ties to DGM plays over on Solana, so maybe some more alpha calls for the DAO group as well if that happens.
Yeah, man, that's really one of the visions too behind Crypto Paradise when we first sort of came up with this company, was it wouldn't just be one or two of us. We could look to onboard and work with a group of influencers, right? They can come on as guests. They can give us alpha. They can join our DAO, and they can add value in many different ways. So there's never it was always a brand, a company with a bigger vision. And we're just starting to see that come to fruition now 3 months after the token's launched.
Yeah, we see the Surf token here. Ends in one bed, so make sure you're doing the right contract address. Up 3.5% in the last 24 hours. You had this big falling wedge here. We broke out, and now we are sitting back and retesting that over and over. You would like, just like this blue line I drew way back here, you would like to see this kind of round out, run again, have another consolidation, and then head towards all-time highs. Obviously, that doesn't just happen overnight. You need Pulse Chain success. And with that, we need to do some kind of marketing campaign and get more Pulse Chain people aware of the Surf token so they can look at all the token economics that you already know, such as trading volume buys and burns the token. So far in 3 months, 2.29% of the total supply has already been burnt. Also, if you hold the token, you're one of these 833 holders, based on the volume, you get automatic reflection rewards of the Surf token. So your Surf bag automatically grows. You buy 200,000 Surf to be in the DAO. You go check it in a week. You're going to have more than 200,000 Surf based on the trading volume. Also, we see these LPs continue to grow based on volume. There's auto buys of Surf, auto buys of PLS that increase LP. Auto buys of Surf, auto buys of X that increase LP. And then there's also a DAO wallet that receives some of these fees and taxes. The DAO gets to vote on how those funds are used. So far, the DAO has voted 100% of the time to use half of it to buy Surf, half of it to buy other Pulse Chain assets, pair them together, and create a liquidity pool and a liquidity web. Let's see the liquidity web real quick here. See how it's progressing. 19 LPs. Most of them are project LPs. Some of them are just community member LPs as well. But you got 151,000 with PLS. You got a PLS XLP and XLP, Hex, INC, and Hex. So all the blue chips plus X up here are the top LPs. Then we see some speculative plays on Pulse Chain. You got Teddy, Top Hat, PTGC, UFO, Most token, King token, a massive one with wrapped Bitcoin. This is actually a whale who did that one. So that is interesting there. Didn't mean to even click on it. But 20-something thousand in LP, a community member put in there. That's wild. Then we got PDI, just in case, it goes to $1. You never know. You got Emit and Vox. We got some farming over there. You can pair with Vox to earn something like, I want to say 100 and something APR. Same with the Surf Emit, 100 something APR. You got Teddy Bear, and then this random one, I don't know, but there's only $1 in liquidity. So somebody probably just adding some random token trying to get some Surf clout. Who knows? But this is how the liquidity web works. Each of these are garnishing some volume, which does what? It buys and burns Surf. It adds to LP. It reflects to holders. And over time, that puts constant buy pressure on this chart, creates this rounded bottom. This is the opportunity now, and we can head higher. Now, are there some snipers that are still selling out? Sure. Are there some people chasing other shiny objects? Sure. But we know the value of being in the DAO, the token economics with the token tax system that continues to buy and burn the tokens, and then what we're doing here will push the uptrend, along with the success of Pulse Chain And of course, the no expectation wallet does have 5 figures of value in there, and I'm trying to find the right time and the right plan to do a major marketing campaign and onboard new people into Crypto Paradise and the Surf token. Anything to add before we go down this list? What's that? Can't hear you over the applause. Can't hear you over the applause.
Yeah. They're on their feet, man. That's a standing ovation. But I will say one thing. I think there's this tendency among certain investors within crypto, man. They got that shiny object syndrome. Man, they just want to jump from one to the next. Oh, this is just launched, that just launched. Hey, we're guilty of it too sometimes. Let's call a spade a spade. But 9 times out of 10, these newly launched projects, founders are anonymous. They're not really long-term projects. They're not really going to be around in a few weeks or months or certainly years. Crypto Paradise, we're not going anywhere. We're fully doxed. This is a successful business. It can pay our bills. We can continue doing this in perpetuity, right? And we intend to. And so when you're chasing that shiny object, just remember what you're leaving to what you're getting yourself into. Now, look, if you're just, hey, I'm getting this thing real quick, snipe, make a bit of money, and then rotate it back to my blue chips or my high conviction plays, okay, cool, I get that. But man, I said 9 out of 10 new projects is a scam. It's probably 99 out of 100 new projects is a scam, whether a short-term scam or a long or medium-term scam. Either way, they're scams. And to me, it's highly risky to be jumping from projects that, team is doxed, working hard, not going anywhere, successful business, to something that's completely unknown with an unknown, undoxed team. So just word to the wise out there. Not that money can't be made, not that you can't do well hopping into other stuff, but man, 99 out of 100 projects in crypto are scams, so just remember that.
And going down this list, we have PDI, which is up 1.7%. We do have a liquidity pool of Surf with that, so it's good to see. We got Dose here at 251K market cap. We gave this to you guys at 100K market cap. These are struggling a bit because of why? Because Solana has been being absolutely a dog. Also, this one was one of the insider team members selling, if you remember when this waterfall effect happened. So we'll see if this one wants to create a new floor here like it did here and head up higher again.
We did just reach out to the founder, who's actually a good guy. And yes, absolutely, we already covered the fact that one of the team members dumped their whole bag and that caused this whole problem. They're working on onboarding more KOLs and initiating a new marketing campaign. They had onboarded some KOLs, I guess, a week or two ago to little effect. And, frankly, I wasn't surprised. I mean, just like everything in life, there's a variety of quality in the KOLs that exist in the crypto world. KOL meaning key opinion leader or influencer, right? Let's just use the word influencer. A lot of them don't have community members that have capital to buy assets. And so when an influencer does a call, like, okay, buy this thing, the community members are like, maybe they like the tweet, but they're not rushing out to buy it because they probably don't have the money to buy it. Not to mention Solana is struggling right now. So sadly, that last influencer they onboarded didn't really bring a lot. These guys are now bringing on 2 additional ones that they think can actually make a difference. But I mean, it's a tough market. You have to have some conviction. You have to have some patience with some of these projects. Because they're still working through the Solana trenches a little bit here. But shout out to Dose, shout out to Substance. The team is still pushing forward. They're still active as ever, but onboarding these KOLs, you just got to find the right ones.
We got Dubcat here. We gave you this one at 300K market cap. It's now at 1.06 million. We just did the interview with BitShaman. We told you about that. So make sure to check that out. There's a little bit of a soft show for Dubcat at the end and for Surf at the end and trying to onboard a Pulse chain. But we didn't talk too much about it, so maybe we'll have him on for another short form video to go over Dubcat and what they are cooking. It is up about 80% off the lows, which is good to see. We got Emit at $1.21. We're in that one at 49 cents. Continues to put passive income in your pocket. And the Surf Emit farm, they just gave it another allocation boost, meaning that you can earn over 100% APR once again if you pair Surf with Emit and earn that APR in the form of more Emit. Now, what you do with that Emit is up to you. Do you hold it? Do you swap it for Surf? Do you swap it for cash? Or you can solo stake it and earn 173% APR that's paid out in DAI tokens, the stablecoin, which is pretty nice. Then you don't have to sell your Emit. You can earn the DAI token, and that is free capital, free stablecoins to buy with what you want. We see Fuck 9 to 5 at a $2.5 million market cap. We're in that one at 300K. Same thing, having a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of a struggle with the Solana trenches. We'll see what happens with that one moving forward. Still as active as ever. Do you have any insight on Fuck 9 to 5? Are they working on a new marketing campaign or anything like that? We've been in touch with them, trying to get them to do another live show in Spaces, I know on our end, but of course we're not the end-all be-all for marketing. We're just another piece to the puzzle trying to help projects on their journey in this crypto sector.
Yeah, we definitely need to get them on for another Spaces here soon. It'd be great. So we'll follow them on that. I know they've been working on their creative contest. I don't think that's ended. It may have, but I don't think it has. The $5,000 is up for grabs. So they're giving back to their community. They have a lot of passionate community members who are out rocking the Fuck 9 to 5 gear. Posting post-its or taking videos placed around the world. I just love the brand and the vibe over there because it very much aligns with Crypto Paradise. It's sort of like, let's use the financial markets, let's use crypto, in the case of Fuck 9 to 5, use this token as a means to escaping the daily grind of, whatever 9 to 5 existence you're in. That very much resonates with us here at Crypto Paradise. So yeah, no, those guys are still doing their thing. Let's get them on for a Spaces and keep supporting. That's all you can do.
We scroll down, we got Hype Token down 8% today, but at over 13 cents. We gave a call at that for the Surf DAO at 7 cents. There is a Hype Surf LP, which produces 250% APR if you get into that farm over on Vox.farms. You see a theme here. We collaborated with some farming projects. Number one, it creates liquidity pools that could drive volume and potential upside for the Surf token. But number two, it provides utility for Surf token holders. If we can get Surf token holders utilities, opportunities to earn more capital, maybe they'll use that capital to slowly drip some of that into buying Surf. I know Crypto Paradise as a company is using this DeFi yield to do buybacks of the Surf token, which we plan on burning once the dashboard goes live, and maybe we'll do that on a weekly basis just to amplify the buy and burns, keep supporting price, and people can speculate on what that means for the future of the Surf token moving forward.
Always fun, buying and burning. That's how you make prices go up, isn't it? So looking forward to that. It sounds like, by the way, our designer's nearly done deploying the new website up online here, so that should be out hopefully today, if not latest tomorrow. So we do have a question from our homie Roan. What's going on, Roan? Thank you for joining in as always. He writes, can you explain what 100% APR means? I think that was in reference to what you were talking about with the DeFi farms that we're involved with. So.
Yeah, it's like the annual percentage rate. So, essentially, if you put $1,000 into the farm over the course of the year, you're going to earn $1,000. That's based on if you're not compounding those rewards at all, and that's based on if those tokens don't go up or down in value. So that's kind of how these yields work. That's the opportunity with farming. I mean, if you go to a bank, they're offering you less than 1%. If you do a CD, you're getting offered 3 to 5%. In DeFi, and why DeFi summer was so popular is you can take your money and earn 50%, 100%, 300% yields, which just in traditional markets is mind-bending to anybody who comes from that space.
Yeah, I think a lot of these farms are sustaining that yield, and sort of they're doing it in slightly different ways, but a lot of it comes down to the token taxes. These tokens, Emit token, Vox, Hype, there's another one called Function Island, which we're involved with. I think they all have token taxes, and so some of those fees get kind of recycled back in different ways to ultimately generate that yield to make it a bit more sustainable than your, DeFi Summer 1.0 farms, which were giving these enormous APYs, but really it was just tokens that hadn't yet been put into the circulating supply are now going into the circulating supply, and so not very sustainable. But how they're doing on Pulse Chain, I love it. Definitely get involved with Emit, get involved with Vox, all these ones. If you're into DeFi and if you're into sustainable passive income, very attractive APRs at the moment.
We see Mellowman up 6.7%. That's good to see. With the strength of Ethereum, you're hoping Mellowman puts together some kind of marketing campaign. Maybe their business model starts picking up, and this one is catching a bid with the LP with Ethereum. As we understand, when Ethereum does well, it helps drag up altcoins. That can help spur some momentum, spur some gusto from the teams to really push forward and try to get some green candles on the charts. So good to see there. We got, what else? We got Peacock is down 16%. Peacock is interesting because there was a pump tires launch on Pulse Chain. A large percentage of the tokens were sent to the Liberty Swap wallet. That is the biggest bridge opportunity right now on Pulse Chain. And they've kind of embraced it and been shilling it. And you can see this thing went up massively, something like a 10x quickly overnight. and falling down into the fib levels. The fib level here, I wrote this on here because at some point we probably might need to give a buy. It's bouncing right off the 618 fib, and it's sitting in between the 618 and the 5 fib. This is usually a good buy, the dip opportunity. Going to continue to monitor this, see if we can get down to this 8,000, 5,700 level, and maybe look to buy that. I don't think Liberty Swap is going anywhere, and they said they're not selling any of the tokens, and they've kind of embraced the peacock as the mascot of that bridge as well. On a side note, we are talking with Liberty Swap. Maybe Surf Token can get listed over there very soon. That would be really sweet. And maybe there can be some kind of collaboration or partnership with Peacock. Nothing is guaranteed in this space, but we have reached out. We are working out some plans and maybe can get something going with the Liberty Swap brand and with the Peacock brand. Again, no promises, no guarantees. Crypto Paradise is here to try to work with as many projects and communities as possible, pass on some of those benefits to the Surf token holders, and try to onboard people from other networks into Pulse Chain as well, which we think is a massive opportunity. Yes, there's opportunities on ETH. We love BNB. Solana, I don't know what to say about it. We've done some things there. I can't say I love it. And of course, you're rooting for Base because that is tied to Coinbase, which will onboard new retail into the market. But we're open to work with anybody where there is opportunity. And we think Pulse Chain is a great community with massive upside potential this cycle. That's why we talk about it so much. It's not that we're not talking about other things going on in crypto. We spend 60% of our time on Pulse Chain because that's the opportunity. The other 40% is talking about macros, Ethereum, politics, BNB, Solana, whatever's hot for the given time period.
Yeah, one thing that makes me so bullish on Pulse Chain is you can reach out to the likes of a Liberty Swap, which is again the most successful bridge probably on Pulse Chain. I know it's relatively new, but it is the most successful bridge on Pulse Chain outside of the, Richard Hart Pulse Chain bridge, which only I think worked for Ethereum anyway. And they'll respond. They'll come back and they'll engage with you, and they'll be open to partnership or cross marketing or whatever the case may be. And so that's one of the wonderful things about Pulse Chain, the community aspect of it. Everyone's so open. It's not so big, and like egos aren't so big that people are just like assholes. Everyone's pretty chill and nice. So I definitely think we'll be doing something with the Liberty Swap team here pretty soon. So keep a lookout for that. Obviously, no promises. I'm actually not even privy to those conversations. I know Nick Moore has done that. But I see no reason why it shouldn't happen. And let's see where Peacock goes, man. Like, it's great to see memes do well over there, and hopefully they can diamond hand it and make this thing keep running here.
Yeah, full disclosure, I missed Peacock down here and I own none of it. So that's why we're doing TA on it. Maybe the Surf DAO will get a buy set up at some point here. Maybe the Patreon will get a buy set up. Maybe we work out a collaboration or partnership that could benefit Surf, or maybe this goes to zero. I don't know. All I know is it's done very well. Liberty Swap is saying they're not selling tokens. They're made it the mascot of their kind of bridge, and Peacock is very unique. So do I try to find an entry somewhere? Hopefully I get an easy entry set up. They reach out, hey, we're going to list Surf. Let's do a collaboration. Oh, wow, we're on a massive dip. But, things aren't always sunshine and rainbows in crypto, so maybe we don't get a good entry on this. We shall see. Stay tuned to the live show, and you can find out.
There's going to be a million others. We are in the bull run to end all bull runs. Money hasn't really even started to flow into alts, so, folks haven't realized it yet that we're in a massive bull run, but we absolutely are, and they're going to realize it soon enough. So there'll be plenty of opportunities. I'm not even worried, but I think Peacock's a solid new meme on Pulse Chain if you're into shiny new objects.
Yeah, what's funny is these blue lines is played out for PTGC. Maybe it can play out for Surf as well. Looks like it's doing a high-level consolidation here. If Pulse Chain can help it and ETH can help it, you see this pendant here. What happens to pendants when they break to the upside? Well, they go up by this amount. So that would send PTGC soaring and approaching its previous all-time high. Would love to see that as it is up, outpacing Ethereum, up 325% off the lows. Plus, similar to the Surf token, if you hold PTGC, you do get reflection rewards based on the volume. This is a glimpse into the future. Obviously, Surf is a little different. The token economics are a little different. It's got different utilities. PTGC has the first mover advantage. PTGC is the king. We own PTGC. All the disclosures are out there. But PTGC started out a lot like Surf. You had kind of a run-up, a consolidation, a big run-up, a consolidation. But that entire time, you are burning supply. You are adding to LPs. You are building momentum. You are growing the community. And now they're doing hundreds of thousands of dollars of volume a day, which is producing $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 in revenue a day. And my dog is moaning here because it needs to go potty. So I'll let Ian go on a little spiel while I let the dog out.
Maybe we can make a meme coin around Nick's dog, who knows? Maybe that'll come in a couple of years from now when we're all much more famous. Everyone gets a dog coin after them once they become well-known people in crypto, don't they? So yeah, man. Shout out to PTGC. We had him on a recorded interview a few months back. We should do another one with those guys soon enough because we'd love to get an update from them. But yeah, I mean, they kind of, let's say, showed us the path, showed how you can be successful on Pulse Chain, and inspired Surf in many different ways. So yeah, looking forward to hopefully continue to find ways to collaborate with those guys. We have some tricks up our sleeve as well, which we won't reveal at this moment in time. But working with those guys has been an absolute pleasure, and we hope to do more in the future.
Yeah, we got Rhino 5 back over $1 million market cap. Gave that as a surf Dow call at 40,000. We were also in the live show when it dipped to 500,000 market cap, saying, hey guys, be prepared for the charging cycle. They're going to start doing a buyback and burn with what they've earned for the first 28 days. And of course, it has been a 2x off of that low plus passive income. If you hold the Rhino, you earn some reflection rewards, or you can farm with Rhino and some of your favorite assets, including Surf, to earn PLS rewards on their DApp. So check that out. Continues to slowly grind higher, and of course provides another utility for Surf token holders. We have a pretty decent LP there, so we want them to do well, because if, say, Rhino does another 2x, well, Surf will get dragged up a bit with that and gain some volume off that as well. We already went over the Surf chart, up 3.4% today. This is the dip you want to be buying on that thing. That's all I can say. Teddy up 3%, Teddy Bear up 2%. So the Pump Tires Teddy is actually beating the Atropa Teddy today. We got Top Hat up 0.2%. Shout out to Crypto Coffee. We got UFO actually green today. There was a BSC Gems account. So usually only talks about BSC, but said, what is UFO? Question mark. So are they talking about the UFO on Pulse Chain? Is there a UFO on another network? I don't know. But a lot of Pulse Chain people were on that thread trying to shill this UFO over on Pulse Chain. Probably why it's green while everything else is a little bit red. We got Vox up to 5.4 cents again. We got the Dow members in that at 2.9 cents, producing over 100% APR with many of their farms. So check that out. Gotta love the 2 and 3Xs while earning 300% yield. Ian, what do you think about that?
Yeah, look, best you can probably do at this moment in time up until the bull market decides to go parabolic for altcoins. We are still in that early phase of the bull market where it's Bitcoin and it's really ETH stealing the show, and money has not yet flown into the low cap alts. Remember, that's a discrete period of time. Maybe it only lasts 2-3 months. You have to have this prelude to that where ETH is running. And so if you can find little gems doing a 2-3x here or there, making some passive income, or we're just kind of waiting for that 10x season to materialize, that's great. That's absolutely great. So follow Crypto Paradise, get in the Dow for all the early alpha, the gem calls, etc., and you will absolutely do well even in this phase of the cycle. So as you had left to let the dog out, Roan has actually come up with the name of the dog coin, which you will get, Nick, once Crypto Paradise hits 1 million followers and people start making memes based off of this channel and the personalities here that show up on the daily live stream. Your meme coin name shall be this.
Dogstradamus, love it. Somebody in the community gave me the nickname Nickstradamus. Of course, Crypto Hitman is my name alias as well. And the Nickstradamus is in reference to Nostradamus, just predicting the future. And we continue to do that with the prediction of the Ethereum Strategic Reserve, the $100,000 call of Bitcoin by 2024. The Floki call and the PTGC on Pulse Chain. Just kind of seeing where the market trends are going and trying to predict that and be ahead of it. That's how I got the nickname Nickstradamus. And now I guess it'll be Dogstradamus to incorporate dog meme coins and the nickname. So gotta love it. I'll need to get a picture of my dog and everything, and that can be the logo, right? We'll launch it on Pump Tires on Pulse Chain to be benevolent to the chain. So we'll be buying and burning PLS and PLSX while pumping Dogstradamus. And Liberty Swap will be posting pictures of my dog and the peacock together playing.
There you go. There you go. That's the prediction of the day, folks. But no, I mean, that's why you turn into crypto wrapped up in the day-to-day news cycle. What's tariffs today? Oh, I'm scared. Or it's a war today. Oh, I'm scared. It's also easy to get wrapped up in the day-to-day movements of the charts. Oh, price is down. Is it going to keep going down? Oh, I don't want to lose my more money, paper money anyway. I'm going to sell now. kind of thing. And if you're following the wrong channels, if you're following the wrong news sources, it's easy to get caught up in that day-to-day, very narrow mindset. You tune into Crypto Paradise for that long-term mindset. You turn into Crypto Paradise for those longer-term predictions, like the Ethereum Strategic Reserve, like Bitcoin hitting $100,000, which we were calling for this time last year when Bitcoin was languishing at 50,000. So all these things came true. I actually watched back yesterday, and we reposted it, a video I had made in April. I had been down in Tulum at the time and just felt all right, I know things are shitty right now, but it's going to get better. It's going to get better. And Ethereum, which was being hated on at that moment. Everyone hated Ethereum for a year or two. Now they love it, but everyone hated it. And I basically was on record saying, hey, even this will pass. This too shall pass. People will start to love Ethereum at some point, and it's going to break its all-time high of 4,800 and hit 5,000 by the end of the year. I actually think that price prediction was way too conservative now, given what's happening. But in the video, it also talks about Powell's going to cut rates, Ethereum's going to come back, Bitcoin's going to come back, the terror fears are going to subside, and all those things happened. So yeah, it maybe took a few extra months. Maybe you had to wade through the shit for a little bit longer than you had hoped. But this is why you turn into Crypto Paradise, for that long-term view and to understand what's coming down the horizon.
Yeah, on April 22nd, let's see what Ethereum's price was. April
$1,500, I think.
Let's zoom out
mentioned
here.
In the video.
Here we go. Let's keep looking. Jeez, you got to really get back here. We just keep going lower and lower. Look at that. April 22nd, right here. Literally near the lows. $1,550. Gave an official buy on Ethereum up here May 1st, about a week later at $1,800. And if we go to the 4-hour, what happened to Ethereum? So, bullish video at the lows. Who does that? Official buy after a $300 move. Who does that? And then meeting all price expectations to the T.
Well, you got to buy the lows. I mean, it's this investing thing is not that complicated. It's hard. It's hard to overcome the emotions and the fears of, oh my God, buying the lows. But conceptually, it's actually not that hard. Buy the lows. Sell the highs.
If you have, that's the thing. If you have conviction, you can do it, and you have to figure out ways to make capital because we want all crypto. So when the markets are shit, our income's down. So you're trying to do other things in real life to try to get capital, try to hold on to investments, make money. Everybody's got their bills, but that's what you need to do, and you need to set yourself up for that opportunity and taking profits on some rips just to have some USDC or some cash sitting around in the portfolio to be able to buy those dips. I was live on air in 2018, kind of when I first went public with Learn Crypto, live on air, remortgaging my old house when Bitcoin was at $3,500, because that was really my first big investment into crypto, because I went public on the run-up, got invested in crypto on the run-up to 20,000, but it's the first cycle, you're round-tripping a lot of things. At the time, my salary was like $50,000, I had a $1,000 mortgage, I had a $500 car payment, so my excess capital was, yes, I'm on YouTube and I'm right and I'm predicting Bitcoin, but my excess capital is $500 here and there. I didn't have lump sum money. And I had the conviction or the balls, and it could have got worse, that when Bitcoin was down at 3,500 and everybody was saying it's going to zero, I refinanced the house, paid off credit card, and bought Bitcoin with the rest of the financing gains. And that's what kind of started my journey in crypto, put me on the pedestal in crypto, and that's worked out very well ever since. Sometimes you got to take risks in life. At the time, I was still in my 20s. If Bitcoin went to zero, would it have hurt? Yes, but I still have a $50,000, $60,000 paying job, still had my first house, still had a car, and I can look for other opportunities. But if I didn't take that opportunity, I wouldn't be full crypto here. I wouldn't have a bigger house. I wouldn't have multiple cars. I wouldn't be taking vacations because none of that capital or income would exist. And I still would be having a bigger salary, but I'd be sitting at a cubicle right now doing the 9 to 5, driving and commuting in rush hour traffic every single morning and every single night, which I'm sure many of you people right now watching and listening are doing. And there is a potential to cut down on that or do other things that you enjoy, take, instead of it becoming a side hustle, make it your real job by having these investments and having the capital to take those risks moving forward.
You heard it here first, folks. Refinance your house. In fact, you know what? Sell your house. Sell your house.
Well, hang on.
Into crypto. Not Bitcoin, because Bitcoin doesn't have too much room to run. All into Ethereum. You can live in a tent. And after 6 months, sell, buy a mansion. I'm just kidding. Don't do
Well,
that.
down here at the lows when we were given the official.
That's fucking balls. I actually didn't. I knew that story, but had forgotten. I mean, that's fucking epic, dude. I absolutely love that story. And he's absolutely right. Like, you have to take a little bit of risk. You have to have the conviction to buy when things are bottomed out. That's the people who make the most in these markets. It's not the people who buy the highs because everything's easy and, oh, it's going up, so I'm going to buy. I mean, that's what retail does. That's what the guy who bought your bags is doing. You want to be the guy that had conviction, had some foresight, understood the market cycles. Okay, yes, it's low now, but in X amount of months or X amount of years, it's definitely going to be higher because that's how market cycles work. Nothing goes down forever, nothing goes up forever. Things are going to get higher. Things are going to get better in time. I'm going to buy here in the lows. Refinancing your house is really not that risky of a thing to do. But I'm glad you did it. Putting the excess capital into Bitcoin at the lows was the risky thing. And so shout out to you, man. That's an awesome story.
Yeah, and if you want to do that, I mean, you could do it here because I think Ethereum goes to 10,000 or higher. But it's much better to do it down here when Ian is bull posting, and then we're giving official buys, down at these lows. Of course, that's the hardest time to do it. Because it looks a little suspect down there. Could we have gone lower? Sure. Now in hindsight, you see this.
There is a world or a universe, an alternative reality where Thomas Lee and Joseph Lubin decide, we're not going to do that Ethereum strategic reserve thing. We're going to stay doing, I'll just do consensus. If you're Joseph Lubin, or I'll just continue doing my rounds on CNBC and leading fund strat. If you're Thomas Lee, and they don't do this. So, I mean, look, there's a world where Ethereum didn't recover, but we're not in that world. We're in the world where Ethereum did recover. We're in a world where Trump won the election, right? We're in the world where everyone is now pro-crypto on Wall Street. So, get on the right side of history. And if you're lucky, and predict where things are going, you can make a lot. So, yeah, absolutely want to revisit that post from April. It was kind of nice seeing a lot of predictions coming true. And let's see where we're at in end of this year. I think $10,000 ETH is well within the realm of possibility here by end of this year.
Yeah, let's take a look at the last chart on the DEX tools list. That is X Protocol. Of course, we have a large liquidity pool with them with the Surf token. Coach X and X Protocol have been teasing at a comeback. He's kind of been a little AWOL. He had some personal stuff going on, and but the product is still being built out. And I'll tell you what. This is a bullish formation. Go look it up on Google. We saw that breakout. It gave it back up when Pulse Chain had the dip, and it's still in this consolidation range. When you break out of this level with volume and you retest and hold this 39-cent level, the target is 64 to 65 cents. We're rooting for that over at Surf because if X Protocol does a 2X and we have 30,000 liquidity with them, well, that's going to increase Surf price, and that is going to increase our LP as well and volume generation. So shout out to X Protocol and bullish formation for a double up if it breaks out of these levels. Bitcoin back over 119,000. Gotta love it. Yeah, Coach coming back is big. Yeah, Coach coming back, figuring out his personal stuff is big. He isn't fully back yet, but we need to get him live again. Obviously, he only supports PTGC, UFO, X, and Surf for the most part, so it's great to have him on. And as we try to weed out this marketing campaign, if you guys have any ideas, people who want to come on our show, people who want to shill us, people who want free marketing, people who provide paid marketing, we're trying to figure out this big Pulse Chain campaign to not only onboard new users to get into Surf and to Pulse Chain, but also allow the Pulse Chain community to be aware of the Surf token. Surf is continuing to gain holders, approaching 900 holders, but we do know there is 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 active participants on Pulse Chain. We want them to find out about a Surf. We want them to buy a bag. We want them to start earning and, of course, see the benefits of Crypto Paradise and supporting the Crypto Paradise brand and the onboarding of Pulse Chain, which will pump their other assets as well. So, of course, Coach will be part of that. Ourselves would be part of that. Learn crypto. But we are talking to others. Can we get, touch base with Fox again? Can we touch base with Corey for the first time? Can we touch base with Crypto Coffee and Top Hat again? We want to kind of get all these communities, projects, and influencers together for a big push. So does that happen in August? Does that happen in September? Stay tuned. It's a lot to try to figure out. And, of course, the No Expectation Wallet does have some funds to make some of these things a reality as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's probably going to have September because in August, we got some commenters. I don't know what this means, but I love it. Hans, where are you? Here we go. Show on stream. Fucking work. Don't live here, don't surf here. I don't know what it means.
He has a smiley face afterwards, so I
But
don't
I
know,
absolutely
positive.
love it. I love that you guys are tuning in, engaging. Look, let's have some fun. I mean, this channel, yes, it's about making money. Yes, it's about predicting what's going to happen in the markets. Yes, it's about long-term time horizons, all that great stuff. But it's also about enjoying yourself and having a bit of a good time. You could be the richest guy in the world, but if you're absolutely miserable, never having fun, well, what's the point of all the money? So just remember that, folks. So let's have some fun out here. I love the comment. I don't get it. Feel free to clarify yourself. Shout out to Nick Cage's new film.
Nick
Oh, Nick
Cage
Cage
is shilling surf, huh? We need
Interesting. Nick
we
Cage is
need
getting Nick Cage
to
up.
we need to find a clip of that and try to make a meme out of it that the community can use. That's what we need to do.
Okay, there you go.
Hans, if you know how to make memes, make a meme, tag us, and we'll definitely amplify it, get it in the community, and get it added to the media kit or something.
I love Nick Cage. He is one of the hardest working guys in Hollywood. That guy's an absolute beast. He doesn't stop making movies. Like, he could have retired ages ago, although apparently he completely mismanaged his money and just spent like all his money on stupid shit. And so he has to keep making the movies. He may have a gambling problem, but anyway, great actor. Shout out to Hans here for getting on it with some of the memes that you just talked about, Nick. But yeah, great stuff. We're having a good time here on Crypto Paradise. I will say one thing. I don't think the big marketing push is going to happen in August. I'm a little less available because my kids and stuff with summer camp. It's a whole thing. Won't get into the details. But more importantly, Nick and I are going down to Tulum, Mexico this August to scope out spots for the Crypto Paradise Retreat. Yes, you can join us in paradise the end of this year. We're going to be renting out one of the biggest, most beautiful villas in all of Tulum. There's going to be 20 to 30 Crypto Paradise community members, influencers, some other ecosystem, friends that we've known for a long time within the crypto space, and also new people. We'll all be joining, coming down together, having a great time over the course of, 3, 4, 5 days. We'll see how long we can survive down there. But it's going to be a great time. Nick and I going down August, scoping out some spots, getting more information from the organizer, the person that's going to be driving us around and things of that nature. So yeah, if you're interested in partying with us and hanging out with us, getting to know us down here in Tulum end of this year, stay tuned for more information. We'll be dropping on our channels very soon.
Well, NASDAQ did wick to new all-time highs earlier today. Seeing a little red now, but stock market just keeps trying to grind higher. We got Hex here, says, I'm about to watch the replay, bros. Shout out to you. Yeah, watch the replay. We talked about Ethereum. We talked about Bitcoin dominance, Pulse Chain, the CPI numbers, kind of covered a lot of the macros. And then, of course, we went over some of the projects that were in and some of the charts as well.
Yeah, been a fun show. As always, we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, with more alpha analysis, gems, charts, long-term mindset, price prediction, all the things you come to Crypto Paradise for. We love what we do. We appreciate you guys jumping in here every day. That the live stream views are growing tremendously. So shout out to you guys for being a part of this community. We're just getting started. We are just warming. We want to be the Nick Cage of crypto, the hardest working guys in crypto, just constantly pushing content, constantly out there, promoting ourselves and promoting our projects that we work with, our partnerships, our friends in this space. I mean, it's all about effort you put in. That's the output you're going to get out. So looks like Hans did something. Did he make the meme already? He says it's here. He says he's done it somewhere. Maybe it's on X. Maybe it's on YouTube. I don't know where he did it. But I love the community engagement and AI, man. I assume he did it with AI because I don't know how else you could do it so quick. But shout out to you. Thanks for being a community member, joining up, and making some sweet content for us. So we'll definitely look to find that and get that out there, reposted on our socials. Any final thoughts here before we jump off?
Yeah, Hans, if you do make something, make sure to throw it on Twitter and tag Crypto Paradise. They'll retweet it for sure, or tag Crypto Hitman. I'll take a look at it. I just looked on Twitter. I didn't see it. And in the Telegram, I didn't see it. But nice. Do your thing. Get that clip. Make a meme. Let's have fun with it, boys.
Let's fucking do it. Great to be here, guys. We'll be back with our live stream tomorrow, and until then, we'll see you on the beach.